Hi, you guys. Welcome to the Christel Crawford Show. It's episode 9, I think. Pretty soon here I'm going to start getting that wrong. I'm looking down at my computer for those of you that are listening in the future because I have no idea if it's actually recording me in Blog Talk Radio. It seems to think I'm a caller, and I'm not. Welcome to this episode of, what does it take to be happy with you? I'm hi, John. I am here in Rome. Hi, Lauren. Here in Rome. This is you're looking at my homeaway.com place. We have this beautiful man on the wall here. He's the guys that own this are incredible and wildly gay. And so, of course, this place is in incredibly good taste. Hi, Dominique. Hi, guys. Good to see you guys live. Oh my God, we are on day 4 of the Maestro class. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Eva Lisa. Oh my God, this is so exciting. Hi, Brenda. And I was just out in Rome, and we just had some wine, and I've still got wine because wine. Hello. I think wine is an essential part of life. And hi, Torgan. Hi, Saskia. Hi. Oh my God, I'm so grateful for you guys. Hi, Karen. And I'm never going to get through this show because all I want to do is say hi to you guys. Hi. So welcome to Rome. Welcome to Maestro. Welcome to you. Hi, Maureen. Hi, Sandra. My gosh, my people. Share this shit. Let's see how many people we can get joining our party. It is really almost impossible for me to keep a train of thought on these live radio shows. And stream. Cool. So, I am so fucking great. Hi, Jonda. Hi, Lisa. I'm so grateful to be me today. I'm so grateful to be me in the last 24 hours, the last 48 hours, more than I ever have before. And that was when I was looking at what I wanted to talk about today and what I wanted to gift you guys with, the energy of, it was that. It was what is actually possible when we really, really, really do get out of the judgment of us and into the possibility, just out of the judgment of us. As soon as we get out of the judgment of us, we have all the possibility. We have total choice. We have access to every single energy. We have access to every single choice to be wealthy, beautiful, have it all, have the business, have the man, have the everything that you're not supposed to have because you've been toning yourself down for 25 billion years. As soon as you're willing to be all of you, you can have everything and anything you want to have in your life as your life. And God, that's all I wanted to talk about today. And what's really funny about it is I don't have a ton of words for this topic. Hi, you guys. Hi, Helen. Hi, Ulrike. Share this shit. Let's see how many people we can get on here. So I'm at the Maestro class in Rome. And hi, Eva. And, 22 godzillion awarenesses. And I came into this class with a lot of demand in my world. I came into this class really, really, really desiring to really be able to acknowledge everything about me. The good, the bad, the ugly. Dane here is one of the founders of Access Consciousness if you're new to Access. And one of the ways that he facilitates you choosing more of you is he'll see something in your world that is really limiting you, and he'll do something he calls skewers. He'll skewer you with it. And it's not something I would put for public consumption. It definitely takes a lot of balls to receive it. But one of the things he's been skewering me with lately is this energy that's in my world that I have not been willing to acknowledge that I choose, and that's let's call it really kindly, and we'll call it cunt. Now, if you're new to Access Consciousness, this could seem really unkind to actually call somebody this, to call somebody out on this energy. This could seem what's this asshole doing? But it has actually created the opposite thing in my world, because what it has done, him calling me out on this, and And mostly he's been calling me out on this because I haven't been asking any questions about anything around this topic, anything around this energy. And so we haven't really had any conversations around it. I haven't really let him in to be curious about what he's seeing that I'm not seeing until this class. And even though I haven't had any direct conversations with him, I have been having conversations with everybody around me about this. Like, what is this? What am I not looking at? What am I not willing to see about myself? You know, one of the things I talk about all the time with Access Consciousness tools is that you're never more fucked up than you think you are. You're always greater. And with this particular topic, it really sort of seemed like in this particular area, I actually might be more fucked up than I thought I was. This actually might be the one exception of all access classes that I might be more fucked up than I thought I was. Knowing full well that that's not true, I carried on. And so I just kept asking everybody around me, hey, what is this? Like, what am I not looking at? Am I disempowering? Hi, Andrea. Am I disempowering? Do I hurt people? Is this like my thing? Am I just unconsciously like hitting everybody with a baseball bat and when I'm not looking? And like, what's actually going on here that I'm not looking at? And I don't really have a clear awareness for you. Hi, Desiree. Meaning like, I haven't actually had a full-on conversation with Dane yet. But what this has done is this has made me look at everywhere I judge myself, which as it turns out, I judge myself incessantly, like all the time, nonstop, 24/7. I'm always judging whether or not I'm treating someone well. I'm always judging whether or not I was nice or if I was too hard. I was always judging whether or not I'm constantly judging how I'm treating people. And then also in some situations just going into like, I don't care about those people and treating them in any old way that I feel like it, sort of, until I judge myself and then I come back. So, and I'm sort of, that's a little bit vague, but what I'm trying to describe to you is give you the energy of like how much I actually spend, how much time and energy I actually have spent judging myself for how I treat people. And I don't know, I feel like I've talked about this on some video, but like my mom in my family like controlled us with criticism. That's what she did. That was her thing. And actually, it was this weird blend, actually. And I think that's what actually fucked us up a little bit more. I love you, Saskia. Saskia, by the way, just said, you are my soft, sweet sheep, and I want to cuddle you. I can't wait till all of you meet Saskia. That should happen in your world. You will never be the same. My mom was this interesting blend of incredible celebration for the fact that we were on the planet, incredible celebration for the fact that we created a piano piece, incredible celebration for the painting we just did, incredible celebration, mixed with, hi Melanie, mixed with this incredible capacity for criticism. And I really learned really early on to defend myself. It was what I did. It was what I felt like I had to do. One of the things that came up in the Maestro class today is this guy got up to the microphone and he asked a question, and one of the things that came out of that was like, are you defending your being? Like, are you defending your being? Hi, Keely Boheely. And it was a yes for all of us, and we did this lock and key process that like unlocked all of it from us, and I realized that I've actually spent probably most of my existence as a being defending my being from being destroyed. And in my childhood, for sure, in this lifetime, definitely like felt like I needed to defend my being from being destroyed from all this criticism of, and I was constantly in this like incessant looking for where I was wrong so that I could figure out, hi Alex, so that I could figure out what I'd done wrong so that I could be right. Like that was the thing, like, what have I done wrong so that I can be right? And my mom was always blaming everything on me. So I was in this constant search for like, if she never felt loved by me, she always felt offended by me. I was constantly doing something wrong with the piano or the life or whatever. And so I was in a constant search for the wrongness of me from the very beginning. And I do remember a certain point, I don't remember exactly what age, but I remember a moment where I went into this lockdown of like, you're not getting to me anymore, bitch. Like, you have hurt me so much and so many times and over and over that you're not getting to me anymore. And you will no longer get any reaction from me. You won't get anything from me. Like, I'm not giving you any more of me because it doesn't matter what I give you because it's never enough and you're always going to attack me. Like, that was the energy of it. And so I would go steely on her. And we talk in Access Consciousness about feelings and no feelings. They're sort of like reverse sides of the same spectrum, right? We've got the feelings side of the spectrum where you're functioning from all feelings all the time. And then you're functioning from this other side of the spectrum where you go into straight steely gaze, no feelings, no reaction, right? Which is really essentially the same side of the coin. And I would go into no feelings. And it would frustrate her to no end because my mom functioned from a lot of feelings. And her way of controlling us was to get us to react, get us to have feelings, get us to feel bad, get us to feel guilty, get us to feel sad, so that if we could do that, then she had control over us and we would then do what she wanted. Anyway, it was totally fucked up. And so I learned very, 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 very early on to be really fucked up. To be really in no allowance of me, to be constantly searching for the wrongness of me, to be in total defense of everything about me because I didn't want it to die. And my childhood felt like sort of like this unending assailment of my very being. Like, no validation, total invalidation of my being, no encouragement of my knowing, and blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to paint you that picture because so many reasons. I know that a lot of us that are into these Access Consciousness tools, that are seekers of any kind, have had really, really interesting / abusive childhoods, right? We've all come through a whole lot. And so we come into Access Consciousness or life and start trying to live it, start trying to be a functional person. And sometimes that really works and sometimes it really doesn't work. And so the struggle is like, how do you make it work for you? Like, how do you actually become a functional person? And then how do you be happy? And then all this stuff, right? And we're all in various places on the spectrum of that creation of life that actually works for us. So with Dane bringing up this cunt energy in my world and, skewering me, which means basically he's not giving me any preface and he's given me no backstory and he's just like brought it right out. And I need to give you a little more context for you to get it, but I can't remember it, so I'm sorry about that. But what it's done for me is it's made me look at all these areas in my life how am I functioning is the question that brought up. Is like, okay, so how am I functioning that I'm not acknowledging? That's what I was living with for a few months now. And so I started seeing all these places where I judge myself. And I've been realizing over this past few months and also definitely over the past 4 days, like I have been doing that to try to figure out the right way to be so that I can be kind, because I don't want to be like that. And the thing about anything you don't want to be, anything you are like, I'm never going to be like that, I'm never going to be that mean, I'm never going to be that critical, is that what you don't want or what you hate, you create. And it's a really common saying in Access, and we throw it around a lot. And I'm a facilitator, so I'll say that to people, like, what you hate, you create. But this time it was really close to home, of like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be disempowering people. I heard myself saying all this. I don't want to be this, and I don't want to be that, and I don't want to be that. Realizing that by desperately not wanting to be it, I was creating it because I wasn't acknowledging where I was actually functioning from. And it's not all of me. I know that. And you guys don't have to, I've had some people jump in and go, but you're not that, and blah, blah, blah. It's not that it's that. It's that there's this place that I'm secretly afraid is true about me, that I then function from, that I'm not allowed to acknowledge or claim or change. And so I went into this class with a really big demand to see everywhere I'm functioning from and to get out of the judgment of me. And I don't know if I'm there yet. But I will tell you that yesterday I was sitting in class and I'm listening to everybody in class and bringing up their questions and being themselves. And I'm like, I am so happy to be me. I'm so happy to be me. I'm so happy to be everything that I am. I'm so happy to have the potency that I have. I'm so happy to have the brilliance that I have. I'm so happy to have the kindness that I am. I'm so happy to be me. And the second part of that is, I know a lot of people aren't going to get me. And that's okay. And then all these other awarenesses that I was just having about me. But there was this just deep sense of peace about who I am in the world. And not because it's validated by anybody, or because it's proven by things, or because you guys have given me the feedback or any of that. It was this sense of like, finally, out of the constant judging of myself that I've been in since I can remember. And I guess the first thing I wanted to give you guys is an awareness of that is a possibility, that like, that totally exists as a possibility for you. It can happen. And I'm talking to you from a place of like, I have been struggling and working and seeking and fixing and trying to fix and getting therapy and like using tools like for as long as I can remember. And now like it's now beginning to change in a really dynamic way. And so I wanted to tell you that is possible for you. And I adore you guys, and thank you so much for the awesomeness that's going on in the thread right now. I'm seeing it. And I guess the second thing I really want to talk about is I've been talking about divorceless relationships. And, you know, John is a huge part of my life now, and he's a gift beyond almost anything I can put into words. And it wouldn't matter how awesome John was in my life if I wasn't able to first receive me. Like, John could be as awesome as they come, and he is, and he's getting greater, and he's changing, and he's becoming more of him, and he's becoming more caring and more all of that, right? But I would not have been able to even see him or perceive him or receive him if I hadn't have first like started being able to receive me. And I remember my first foundation class where we first started learning about the elements of intimacy. I was so fucking annoyed by those. I was so annoyed. I was like, that's hard, blah, blah, blah. You got to receive yourself first. Fuck, just tell me about how to have a good relationship, right? That was really what I was interested in. And blah, blah, blah. Like, of course, that's not how it goes. Like, the elements of intimacy have everything to do with you. And so we went through that section in the manual, and I was like, yeah, okay, fine. I got to work on myself first. I'd been hearing that for years, and I was like, and I felt like I had been doing that, and I had been doing that, and I still wasn't able to get what I wanted in a relationship. So just tell me about the relationship, for fuck's sakes. I've already fucking done all that shit, was really my point of view. I hadn't. And I also had lumped like the elements of intimacy and access into the same sort of pot as therapy and all this other, you know, psychological mumbo jumbo that I learned over the years. And they're not the same. And I really just want to touch on them briefly for you to give you the energy of what we're going to be doing in the next 30 days. I'm not exactly sure when we're starting yet, but soon. You'll see a link. Because this book, this book and all the tools in here have revolutionized my life and revolutionized what I've been able to create with John, which I never even set out to create. I wanted to create energies in my life. And they've also revolutionized the way that I'm being with me. And, you know, it's not that if you use everything in this book, it will fucking change your whole fucking life. If you add access classes to this book, you won't even be the same person. And if you really, really, really choose to have your own back and really care about you and trust you and have gratitude for you, like nothing can get in your way. Nothing. So the elements of intimacy, as they're talked about in divorceless relationships, are gratitude, trust, honoring, vulnerability, and allowance. Gratitude, trust, honoring, vulnerability, and allowance. And where to even start with that? So the gist is, like, if you don't have these elements of intimacy with you, you can't have them with another person. And I've constantly, like my whole life, been searching for these with another person. I was always searching for the man that was going to honor me and have gratitude for me and trust me completely and all this stuff that I thought would come from another person, right? And I didn't even when I heard about these elements of intimacy, I was like, I don't even know how to have those with me. How do you even do that? And so I would say that my journey to the elements of intimacy has been sort of roundabout and zigzag and through access classes, and it definitely hasn't been direct. I'm glad you. So where do I even want to go with this? I'm like, how do I even talk about these? Gratitude is like the space that I'm being right now for me, where it's like, fuck, it doesn't matter if I'm a cunt. It doesn't matter if I'm a nice girl. It doesn't matter if I'm being the biggest bitch in the world or if I'm expanding someone's universe. I have me. And how the fuck did I get so lucky to have me? Really. Like, I have people that pay me to be in their business, and I have me all the time. And now I have me. I have like the presence that I am. I have the joy that I am. I have the willingness to choose that I have. I have the willingness to create that I have. I fucking have me. Holy fuck. What a gift. That's gratitude. And trust is knowing that I am always gonna fucking lose my keys. It doesn't matter where I live. If I put them in a place where I know that my purse is not, I will lose them. That is trust. That is like trusting that I am going to be the way that I'm going to be, and that I'm going to be it. I had a conversation with some of my teammates on the Access Dazzle, and there's some things that some people think I should be doing that I'm not doing. And I just looked straight at her and I'm like, I will never be you. I will always be me. And I trust that. And me is how this is how me shows up. And so if that doesn't work for this dazzle, let's just change it. Let's change it, because this is me. I know me. Well, I'm not changing. I'm not going to be doing it like you do it anytime soon. I'm going to be doing it the way I do it. And if that doesn't work for this, let's just change it. Let's just actually create something that works. Vulnerability is the willingness to look at everything about you. Everything you've decided is good, everything you've decided is bad, the ugly. That's the vulnerability to go, hey, okay, I'm a cunt. What does that mean to you? Like, tell me how that's showing up. What can I be or do to change it? You know, that's vulnerability. Receiving everything with no point of view is also vulnerability. Allowance is everything's just an interesting point of view. Like this conversation we had the other night with the Access Dazzle and this person that was really upset with me, I was like, all it is her interesting points of view, and it doesn't make her wrong and it doesn't make me wrong. It's just interesting points of view. So everything's an interesting point of view, including the opinions or the things that I think are wrong about me. All of my judgments are interesting points of view. Everything is just an interesting point of view. And honoring me and honoring the other people in my world. And I'm still learning about that one because, you know, in my family, like, honoring kind of meant things, right? It meant that you behaved certain ways. It meant that you treated people certain ways and totally forgot about yourself in the process, if I'm honest. And so honoring for me is like, you know, the way it's put in the book is like, if you're going to, we'll go into that in 30 days. Basically, like honoring yourself and honoring the people in your world and functioning from the kingdom of we, which is where you're included. Now, usually we go to the kingdom of we, and I think my data is going to cut off soon. We go to the kingdom of we and we cut ourselves off, and that's not what that's about. It's actually including you, all of you, everything you desire, everything you want to create. Yeah. So I guess those are the tools I want to give you. And if you, one of the tools that I'm using a lot right now that I got from Dane is like, what points of view am I using to create the blank I am choosing? And he's using it with like problem stuff. So like, what points of view am I using to create the problem with me I'm choosing? What points of view am I using to create the problem with my body I am choosing? What points of view am I using to create the money problem I am choosing? What points of view am I using to create the blah, blah, blah problem I am choosing? And that is fucking changing so much shit for me right now. It's also like giving me. It's giving me access to what's actually possible with me, what I'm actually capable of, the potency, the power, the elegance, the kindness, the niceness and the meanness, the everything about me that is actually that is required to create what I came here to create in the world. It's required to have the life I want to have. It's just required. Like, you're not a one-sided, one-faceted being. You're a multifaceted powerhouse. And to have access to all of that, the key is to get out of the judgment of you. And we got to come at it from a lot of angles, because like, we've been judging ourselves for 32 billion years. We're fucking really great at it. I'm really great at it. And it took Dane really calling me out in a way that was really uncomfortable for me to even start to look at how much I do it. And when you're judging you, you can't be kind to other people. When you're judging you, you're going to judge other people. When you're judging you, you're going to be mean to other people. That's how that works. And if that's not the way you want to be in the world, the key is getting out of the judgment of you. Because once you're in total allowance of you, you can be any which way that creates with people. You can be nice and you can be a dick if it creates, but you have choice. And until you get out of the judgment of you, you don't actually have total choice. So I just wanted to give you all that. I hope that contributes. I really, 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 really encourage you to use the What Points of View Am I Using tool for whatever is coming up for you. And if doing this, practicing this stuff for 30 days would be any contribution to you, I just want to invite you. So one of these days I'll have a link where you can click it. And for now, just know it's coming. And also just, like, even if that's not something you want, just grab this book. Fuck, I mean, Gary told me to make it my Bible, and I did. And I used it religiously, and it's what's creating my life. And then I just kept choosing the things that were light and choosing the things that were going to create my life. And so here we are. So I just want to give you that. I adore you more than I can tell you. I'm so grateful you're in the world. I'm so grateful I'm in the world. I'm so grateful for what we're all creating. And yeah. What would it be like to function from the elements of intimacy with you? Thank you, Alexandra. What would it be like? What would it be like to have total gratitude for you, total trust that you're going to be exactly the way you are, total honoring of you, total vulnerability with you, with everything, and whatever the other one is, I can't remember. So cool. If this contributed to you, just share it. I'm so grateful, and I'll see you later. I'll see you next week for sure. Okay? Bye, you guys.